Let's move on to the final email in today. And the final email in today comes to us from Ryan Yamasaki, who writes, "This has obviously been a big summer at the box office, and I saw that it's way ahead of last year. What do you think accounts for this year's summer box office being so much bigger than last year's?" All right, so for those of you who don't know, there was a report that came out that this summer blockbuster season, the summer movie season, was like, what was it, like almost 15% ahead of last year. That's a huge margin. That's actually a really big margin. The question then becomes, what's accounting for that? Well, there are a couple things, and this actually got brought up a little bit on Open Mic yesterday. And there's a couple other things to keep in mind too here. The box office for 2018 hit the $6 billion mark faster than any other year in history. Overall, the year is up by like 35% over last year so far at this point, plus a 15% increase at the summer box office. So what accounts for that? I think there are a couple of small things, but there's one major thing. Some of the smaller things is, hey, you know, we've got a number of billion-dollar club movies like Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom, Incredibles, Black Panther, things like that. Sure, that accounts for a bit. But the biggest reason that this summer's box office is up a full 15% over last year is because last year's box office was one of the worst ever. Last year's summer season box office was abysmal. And so, yeah, that 15% number is a huge jump, but you got to put it in context. And the context was part of the reason it did so well is because last year was so bad, right? So bad. Now, if you hear your kid in school jumped a full 2 grade points, like you went like, you know, some people, maybe he didn't get an A, but he jumped a full 2 grade points. Well, that's great. But keep in mind his last grade point was an F, right? So a C, that's a big jump. Yes, but it's a big jump partially because his last score was an F. It doesn't necessarily mean your kid got an A, so you got to put it in context. In this context, last summer box office was an F. So yeah, a 15% is a big jump, but just keep in mind it has a lot to do with because of where last summer was. But still, it's good news. It's good news nonetheless. All right, with that out of the way, guys, we've got a little bit of time left here to take some live questions.